So, this is me. Hi, I'm Abigail, and over the past 24 years, I've spent an ungodly amount of time in front of the mirror, trying to figure out how to appear happy. This is 24 Reasons Why I've Been a Clown. To be clear, I say have been, as in the past tense of am. Luckily, through the process of personal growth and newfound self-worth, I have cured myself of the humorous notion of being a clown. However, for the purposes of this video and my need to communicate through art and visuals, I am in fact a clown. Or was, or am. I guess it all depends on how you view and are located within time and space. When I think about being a clown, my mind goes back to a quote from my last lecture I received during my undergrad graduation. A professor walked up to me and said, "Congratulations, you did it," kicking and screaming. And I thought, I've hindered myself in life. The most upset. Not, "You did it," and "Wow, you have had a lot of fun." I've been living my life, kicking and screaming, and fighting every second of it. I've been playing myself out of all the fun and happiness that one can find in life. So, I think we should start off with a complex and broad reason for playing oneself in life. Here we are, reason number 1. The victim mentality. Without invalidating the pain I've gone through in life, I have to face the facts. The more I focus and run through putting blame on why I'm so sad, the more I'm making myself sad. The things that once hurt me are no longer currently hurting me, and now it is my job to take control of bringing down my own mental health, letting the bad experiences win, and how I let others affect my life. It hurts, it's hard, and I honestly rather blame anyone or anything but myself. However, I'm fortunate enough to be in control of my own path in life and personal happiness. Now it's time to take control. I'm not a victim of circumstance, or inevitable childhood trauma, or even someone else's selfish actions. So yeah, I owe it to myself to move on and move forward from my past. Now, the younger me would have taken advantage of the constant need to move on and seek it through self-destructive behavior and surface-level relationships. However, I'm sure we can all agree that's a big no-no. Why? Why was I like this? This type of thinking leads to unhealthy relationships, habits, and usually an overall dislike for oneself and actions. So, no smoking, excessive drinking, seeking comfort in someone's arms who doesn't respect me, etc. No more living life through distractions. A lot can be said about living life through distractions. However, I think the main thing to take away is, whatever it is I'm running from or trying to distract my mind from, it will always, and I mean always, come back around, usually in the most inconvenient times. I cannot escape my own mind. The only solace to be found is healthy coping mechanisms. Coping mechanisms like just talking and relating to others, and I don't know, not bottling everything up inside until I burst into tears at the slightest hardships for 10 years straight. For a majority of my schooling, anytime someone asked if I was okay, the tears, my God, they would just start flowing. So, I was in this position where there were clearly people around me wondering what's going on. And what do? Classic boss bee move, hit them with the, "I'm fine." And then when I find myself alone and isolated, complete breakdown. Falling into the, I don't give people the chance to understand, so no one understands, and now I have convinced myself no one cares category. I have spent so much time in complete solitude for someone my age, especially when I was very young. Because in my late teens and first few years of my 20s, I was so desperately afraid to go back to that life of solitude, I then began to cling onto what little relationships I had. Which is amusing, because now I find the most comfort in the time and days I spend completely alone. However, in my preteens and through high school, the time I spent alone was filled with intrusive thoughts and reliving trauma. I turned to self-harm and eating disorders as a way of control to the uncontrollable aspects of my life. I couldn't make sense of why about so many situations. Filled with that pain and self-isolation, I attempted suicide once very seriously, and then attempted again only for a classmate to call me, leading me to finally break and spill over my soul and deepest secrets. I'm sharing this now only because I'm so glad that I am alive. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't really want to die. I feel like most of my life I've been horribly depressed, and at the time I couldn't see a way out of it. I couldn't see how anything could ever be okay. I convinced myself I wouldn't make it past 16 years old, which is probably the saddest thing I've ever said out loud. At the time when I wasn't thinking about killing myself or cutting superficial marks into my body, I was in and out of leaning on bulimia and anorexia. Thinking I'm not pretty enough and basing myself off of that, I spent a lot of time focusing on my weight when I was younger. Scales were my enemy. Now I don't even look at scales, but back then I was constantly comparing myself to the models and women around me who were considered beautiful in society standards. I remember being so sad that I was never hungry, and then when I did eat, my stomach hurt too bad to eat normal. Then I remember feeling guilty about eating certain foods, like there was some huge test where if I ate the wrong food, it wasn't worth the chance that I'd gain weight. Luckily, I never permanently damaged my body, and over time I've been able to find the most beautiful way of loving myself and the people around me, by cooking. I've always cooked for my family, and I've spent a lot of time in the kitchen learning new recipes and all about healthy foods that make you feel good and are good for you. So yay for that, and yay for delicious experiences shared with loved ones. Outside of the adolescent ideals for myself, I've always had this weird idea in my head where I don't want to give up on people I grow to care about. Recently, I've learned that sometimes I just need to let people be themselves. And if that doesn't fit how I want to live my life, then I can move on, which is far better than staying in a toxic situation or relationships. Which brings me into how I've broken my own heart repeatedly by putting the wants of a partner before my own mental health and pursuit of happiness. Letting someone be with me while watching them continuously break the promises they made within our relationship. And loving someone more than I love myself. Which brings us to reason number 10, stranger danger and overwhelming anxiety. Because I've had an unhealthy amount of bad interactions with others, it has become progressively more easy to dismiss anyone and everyone in my life as bad and unkind. While I'm aware that's irrational, it still hasn't kept me from where it feels like anyone new is going to hurt me. People are out to get me. They hate me. They have ulterior motives. I've been in different degrees with this mentality. Some as bad as panic attacks in public, or some as little as mild social anxiety. Maybe I just romanticized people and situations too much and was let down too many times. Or maybe I'm not romanticizing my life enough. I mean, I'm the person I'm living with. In some way or another, my artwork is always about me, and it's far more fun to make dreamy romantic work. I mean, I spent far too much time lying awake at night, overthinking every last embarrassing moment. Caring what others think about me. Giving in to the fear of failure. Not pushing myself to my potential. Setting unrealistic expectations for myself, and then feeling disappointed. Holding back my thoughts for the fear of not being accepted or sounding unintelligent. And having an overall dislike for who I am and how I interact with others. I seriously used to think I don't like me, so why would anyone like me? I've spent too much of my life not climbing enough trees, not looking up at the sky, and not throwing myself into the water in great unknown. Overall, I've been too hard on myself. My most intrusive thought is self-doubt. I criticize myself, even now. It's been this awful cycle of feeling bad, only to feel more bad, only to sink into depression. I think all I've really needed for myself is a bit of acceptance. Even at the saddest of times, where I've been seconds away from ending it all, there has been acceptance. Acceptance that, in the end, nothing truly good or evil ever lasts. All we can do, in times of low, are wish for a better world, and be the kindness we hope to receive from others. But this is all blah blah blah, am I right? The whole notion that I can just change my entire personality and outlook on life by making an over-directed and edited rant video. A video I know about 100 people are going to watch only halfway through. There's no one to hold me accountable. There never has been. No one to hold my hand through life's obstacles. No one else in my head every day. No one but myself. And I cannot wait to continue to become older, wiser, happier, more grateful, and far more stable. So cheers. Cheers to 24 years learning 24 hard life lessons, and to 24 more. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to my content. I know the bulk of this video was a bit real and harsh, and I'd prefer to be a more joyous place in our universe. So I'm sorry if I brought you down. Nevertheless, I think it's important to acknowledge that everything isn't beautifully perfect and wondrous. So, if you're struggling with your mental health, know you're not alone. It's never too late to ask for help. And I promise, if you fight for yourself, you will have better days. If you wish, please continue watching the next 8-ish minutes of shenanigans and B-roll for the sake of theme and symmetry, and to possibly boost the mood. Thank you so much for watching, and much love as always.
Okay, I'll probably find it. Hold it. Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's a video.
Where? What's the most dangerous area?
Out into the open sea, man. Like right here. Yeah. Now this would be cool. Yeah. That's cute. Yeah. I don't know what you want me to do, but there's a little cute whale next to you and it's so... Yeah, there's a little whale. The duck is just a floating. That was adorable.
Sunflowers in your hair. I thought that they were dead, so I took them off of your hair. Oh, it's nothing new to be close to you. Sunsets and medicine at the cross street by my door. Hey, sleepwalking in our neighborhood and saw some plants moving in the garden. Oh, I'm crazy, but I don't mind. Then you said that it was alright. All you need is sun. I know that you won't see me anymore. All you need, I know, but I'm still trying. $5 don't feel like it anymore. All you need, I know, but I'm still trying. I'm trying. Hey. Sunflowers in your hair. I thought that they were dead, so I took them off of your head. Oh, it's nothing new to be close to you. I don't need a protector. I don't need a protector, but I feel like it's forever. No, I don't need a protector.